Hey, welcome back folks to a new video for today. Yesterday I updated you with two videos. One was in the morning my time and one was in the afternoon my time when we had this tremendous pump. I also updated you on Twitter, so if you want to have more real-time updates or contact with me, then definitely check that out. There's a link in the description. Of course we are going to look at the price, but before you, please do me a favor, hit up that like button and subscribe or share this video. And then without further ado, let's dive into the charts, because we had one hell of a day yesterday when it comes down to pricing. Right now we are going to start off with the BTC USD pair on the weekly. I have no idea why I have the 6 days, but it's the weekly. Yeah, there you go. Because what I want to show you right now is that because of this major pump yesterday on a Monday, first day of the week, that was 17%, oh, even more, 17-18%. From top to bottom. Let me see, there you go. So if we would have such a result in a week, which will be great, which will be bullish, but it's a little bit unsustainable to just go higher from here on. So since we still have approximately 5.5-6 days left on the weekly, it is not a surprise if we would zigzag a little bit, if we go down a little bit. I mean, the candle could end at Sunday at the top of the wick. Of course, they can go much higher, but it would not be bad from a macro perspective if this just kind of tries to settle in a little bit and goes a little bit lower. Of course, the big question is then, will we cross the ribbons? That is A. And B, will we also be able to stay above this white resistance line that I draw here yesterday? That's going to be interesting to see. If we close below, it doesn't mean right away that that is bearish, because we still have the W pattern playing out, but it is something that I am keeping in mind. Now, if I'm zooming in a little bit further, then you see that yesterday's week we closed above. Right now, the second day, we are already going higher. I saw that we just dumped down just a little bit. But yeah, then of course the question is, will we do something like this where we go a little bit down, retest it and go higher, or will we eventually trade a little bit lower and then trade around here and then maybe have that breakout of that bigger W pattern? I am actually staying a little bit cautious right now with entering longs, just because we already had such a move. At a certain point you will get something like a little bit of sideways action or a little bit of reversal, so just be careful. Maybe I'll do some scalp trading today, taking some little shorts, maybe longs, depending a little bit of what I can see in the charts. For now, I'm taking it very, very slowly. Let's quickly also head over to ETH. Same kind of story, and we're also here on the weekly. As you can see, the only difference is that we didn't break the big diagonal line that I draw yesterday, whereas for Bitcoin we did break it. Also, nothing major. It's not bearish news at all. Matter of fact, I think for a lot of people the major pump came a little bit as a surprise. But of course, what we want to see, if we are bullish, that we are breaking this pattern, doing also something like this and then going higher. And of course, these levels needs to be broken with the yellow lines that I draw the resistance so many times already. So then we're talking about the 3,180, the 3,200, and then the 3,370-ish. So those are then the major levels. Also, if we would do something like this here, a little bit lower, and then we're breaking higher, completely fine with me, because as you can see, the forming of this left W, or the left butt cheek, as you could say, took a little bit longer than this one. There is no textbook for something like this, and if it pumps up, it's fine. But actually what you don't want to see is something like this, then very short, and then boom, suddenly up, because then you have a very ugly one, and then there is not a lot of time for the price and for the movement to really settle in and make that base to go higher. So you want to see as smooth as possible these kinds of moves. So that's kind of what I'm looking out for right now. Also here on ETH, I will be a little bit careful with entering longs. Maybe even just step away and let it be for a little bit. We did have a bullish crossing here on the MACD. That looks good. On the RSI, we still have room to go to the upside. Let's quickly look at the other markets. We've seen that the S&P going a little bit lower, Nasdaq goes a little bit lower. In Europe, we see a mixed image. In Germany, the stock market is going down pretty hard, 2.8%. In England, it's only 1%. In CAC, that's in Paris, in France, that will be more than 3%. Let's quickly head over to gold. So far, gold is doing pretty okay, of course, due to all this uncertainty. 1.6% now, and for the year, I think it's also up 3 or 4%, which in gold terms is quite a lot. Oil, of course, also spiking way above $100 per barrel right now. That's something we haven't seen in a very, very long time. Of course, also everything due to the war in Ukraine. With that being said, I now slowly see already signs in the market that central banks are saying, you know what, maybe we should not raise the interest rate in March, but maybe we should wait a little bit because we might need all the financial ammunition that we can get to fight the economic decline which is ahead of us because of the war. So in other words, we're using something that happens in the world, a media narrative, and we take that as an excuse or as a fundament to change the course of the central banks. I would not be surprised if that happens. Maybe, of course, they will still raise the interest rate, but much later in the year. Maybe if everything escalates more and more, they will even say, you know what, we are going to start printing money again, even more than we already did before. And you know what, we are going to start buying up bonds again. And then, the policy hasn't changed at all. So let's see how that turns out. 1st of March now. We will probably know within 4 to 6 weeks. I think most likely earlier, I think 2 to 4. That is actually what I'm aiming for, because the Fed said in the States that they will rise interest rates in March, and the European and the Central Bank of England were a little bit later, most likely, but I think they will start leading the dance, and therefore then also all the other central banks in the West will follow. So within 2 to 4 weeks then we probably know. I would say they're not going to rise the interest rates. They want to see how the situation in Ukraine is developing. So definitely keep your eye on that. Alright guys, that will be it for now. If you like these short and quick updates, then please do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, click the bell, click the notification so you don't miss anything. Also leave me a comment. I'm very curious at your thoughts and what you think. If you like these videos, if you're missing something, do you want me to do alts or anything else, feel free to drop anything you like. Also, of course, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, links in the description. Thank you guys so much. See you next one. Love you. Bye bye.